Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Cricket fever grips the country as unbeaten Team India to take on 5 times ODI World Cup champions Australia in the final. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to watch both the teams clash for the title after 20 years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defends military actions in Gaza, says Israel abides by the laws of war. India sends second humanitarian aid to Palestine. Indian Air Force C-17 aircraft carrying 32 tons of aid departs for El Arish Airport in Egypt. Thousands protest in Spain's Madrid against proposed Catalan amnesty law. The stage is all set and the stakes are high. India and Australia in the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup final in Ahmedabad promises an epic clash on the biggest cricketing canvas. Up next, we'll give you 5 key player matchups that could shape up the destiny of the World Cup.
Get ready for the cricket showdown of the year as India and Australia lock horns in the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup final in Ahmedabad. The stage is set and key individual battles are poised to shape the destiny of the coveted trophy. First up, Josh Hazlewood versus Virat Kohli. With Kohli's scintillating form and Hazlewood's knack for dismissing him, this face-off could determine India's middle order strength. Next, the power play duel. Rohit Sharma takes on Mitchell Starc. Sharma's early impact in the first 10 overs has been a game changer for India. But can Starc halt his onslaught and give Australia an edge? In the spin challenge, it's Glenn Maxwell versus Kuldeep Yadav. Maxwell's aggressive style meets Yadav's spin mastery, adding an unpredictable twist to the encounter. Will Maxwell conquer or fall victim to the turn? The battle of the mind unfolds with Steve Smith facing Ravindra Jadeja. Jadeja has had Smith's number in recent encounters, but Smith's impressive ODI record against Jadeja adds a layer of intrigue. Who will emerge victorious in this strategic clash? And finally, the fiery pace duel. Mohammad Shami targets David Warner. Shami's exceptional record against left-hander poses a threat, but Warner's resilience against right-arm pacer could be a game changer. Will Shami continue his left-hander dominance? We'll wait and see. As the anticipation builds, each matchup becomes a mini-drama within the grand narrative of the World Cup final. Who will seize the moment? Who will crumble under pressure? It's cricket at its finest. But don't miss a moment of the action. With camera person Jai Shankar, this is Taposh Bhattacharya signing off from the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad for DD India.
Yes, it's an action-packed Sunday today. And up next, we take a look at other stories making it to the headlines with focus on the title clash of the Cricket World Cup. Former Australian cricketers Ricky Ponting, Adam Gilchrist and Matthew Hayden have arrived at Ahmedabad to watch the most awaited title clash between India and Australia. In view of the extra rush ahead of the ICC Cricket World Cup final, 11 special Vande Bharat trains will run from India's Mumbai to Ahmedabad. The decision has been taken by Central Railways to provide ease to the general public ahead of the final. For the first time ever, 9 Hawks from the Indian Air Force's aerobatic team, Surya Kiran, will enthrall fans with a vertical air show over the Narendra Modi Stadium in sync with music that pays tribute to New India. The flights will take off from Ahmedabad Airport. And we all saw rival skippers Rohit Sharma and Pat Cummins were all smiles as they posed with the World Cup trophy at the historic Adalat stepwell close to Gandhinagar city in the Indian state of Gujarat. The stepwell was built by Queen Ruda Devi of Waghela dynasty in memory of her husband in 1498, and it is just a 22-minute drive away from the World Cup final venue. It is an intricately carved 5-story deep water conservation structure situated just on the outskirts of Ahmedabad, also a UNESCO World Heritage City. All right, that was about the World Cup. Now we get to an update on Israel-Hamas conflict. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended the military's actions in Gaza since the October 7th attack by Hamas. During a briefing on Saturday in defense headquarters in Tel Aviv, Netanyahu said that Israel abides by the laws of war.
Israel
abides by the laws of the war. That's how our army works, the most moral army in the world. Humanitarian aid is also vital to maintain international support. Without humanitarian aid, even our best friends will find it difficult to support us over time. And it will be very difficult for us to continue the war until the end. We also said that we won't give fuel to Hamas, and this is right. These 2 trucks were requested for the operation of sewage and water pumps in south of the Gaza Strip.
Israel's chief military spokesman, meanwhile, said that Israeli forces are now operating in the shaft which it exposed in Al-Shifa hospital. Military spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said that locating and obtaining information about hostages is the first priority of the Israeli forces.
Forces continue to undertake 4 main efforts. The first is locating and obtaining information about the hostages. That's the highest priority. The second is locating weapons and command and control rooms. The third is finding terrorists that are in the area of hospital, and the fourth is a meaningful effort to expose the underground of the hospital and destroy it. Special forces are now operating in the shaft we exposed last night in Al-Shifa hospital, and we will release the materials from there in due course.
India continues to deliver humanitarian aid to Palestine. The second batch of C-17 aircraft carrying 32 tons of aid departs for El Arish Airport in Egypt. The development was confirmed by Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. India had sent the first batch of aid that included medical and disaster relief to Palestine on October 22nd. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has given her support to the political solution to the Israel-Hamas conflict. She called for 2-state solution as she handed over a consignment of humanitarian aid for Palestinians from Gaza. The aid was delivered to the Egyptian Red Crescent on Saturday. EU had quadrupled humanitarian aid to Gaza to $109 million and had organized 15 flights bringing aid to Gazans to the nearby Egyptian city of Arish.
Even as we deal with the urgency of today, we must also think about what the day after could look like and how Israelis and Palestinians can regain hope, have a perspective. And for this, they need a political solution. And this horizon is a 2-state solution. It requires the agreement between Israelis and Palestinians. But the European Union is ready to support this process once the time comes, in very close cooperation with our friends and partners. Thank you so much.
Thousands of people, including families, friends and supporters of Israeli hostages, marched on Saturday, calling on the Israeli government to do more to secure the release of around 240 people held hostage by Hamas terrorists since the attack on Israel on October 7th. Their 5-day march from Tel Aviv ended in front of Prime Minister Netanyahu's house in Jerusalem. Netanyahu issued a statement on Saturday inviting the families of the hostages to meet with members of his war cabinet this week. But he also reiterated that currently no deal has been made with the Hamas outfit to release the captives. The captives, from babies to grandparents, are believed to be held in tunnels by Hamas terrorists under the Gaza Strip. Holding pictures of the hostages and missing relatives, the demonstrators waved Israeli flags.
We are marching today. It's the 5th day, the last day of this march. We are here, thousands of people, of course the family of the hostages, and alongside and with us, thousands of Israelis came to support us all the way to achieve our demand, to show our demand to the government, to the cabinet members, to do everything they can to bring the hostages back. Bar, my partner, my girlfriend, she's really an amazing girl, funny, clever, sensitive, talented. She's an artist, she's a graphic design student, and she's brilliant. She's full of love and care. And she went to the music festival as a caregiver, as a volunteer to help others. And she was kidnapped on October 7 from the music festival.
Today is my husband's birthday. He is 63, and his mother, Yafa Adar, is kidnapped. She is 85 years old, and we are not with her, and we are marching. We are marching to Jerusalem to bring her back, to shout, and to say that she must be here back with all the kidnapped. We don't have time. We don't have 1 hour more. We don't know if she is alive.
We're heading for a short break, but on the other side of the break, eligible Argentinians to vote in presidential election runoff today. OpenAI board in discussions with Sam Altman to return as the CEO. World Toilet Day being observed today to inspire action to tackle the global sanitation crisis. Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live and I'm Preeti. Let's get to more international updates. Thousands of people marched through Madrid on Saturday against an amnesty law which Spain's socialists agreed over Catalonia's 2017 separatist bid in order to form a government. Madrid also witnessed clashes between protesters and riot police. The demonstration took place 2 days after Spain's Socialist Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez won a 4-year term with the backing of Catalan and Basque nationalist parties in return for agreeing to the law. Sanchez has defended the law, saying an amnesty would help to diffuse tensions in Catalonia. In a survey by Microscopia in mid-September, around 70% of respondents said that they were against the idea of an amnesty. 59% of them were socialist supporters. The independence referendum was declared illegal by the courts and resulted in Spain's worst political crisis for decades. Argentina will vote in a runoff presidential election on Sunday, with Economy Minister Sergio Massa taking on political outsider Javier Milei to determine the future of the region's second largest economy. In the runoff, the candidate who obtains the greatest number of total votes wins and would form the government for a 4-year term. The winner will replace outgoing centre-left President Alberto Fernandez. Economy will be the key factor in this election, which comes at a time of deep economic crisis for Argentina. With inflation now topping an annual 140%, fixing the country's finances is top of the agenda for voters and candidates alike. Argentina, a nation of some 45 million people, is one of the world's main food suppliers, with major exports of soy, corn, wheat and beef. It has one of the largest reserves of electric vehicle battery lithium and huge shale gas and oil potential. President Volodymyr Zelensky has sanctioned 37 Russian groups and 108 people, including a former prime minister and a former education minister, and said that he aimed to fight wartime abductions of children from Ukraine and other Russian terror. The decrees showed a range of 10-year penalties against individuals and 5-year penalties against non-profit groups. The sanctioned Russian groups included several whose names or websites indicate that they work with children. In his nightly video address on Saturday, Zelensky said that the list included those involved in the abduction and deportation of Ukrainian children from the occupied territory, and each of them must be held responsible for what they have done.
Several decisions of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine regarding the sanctions toward almost 40 Russian legal entities and more than 100 individuals have been put into effect, including those involved in the abduction and deportation of Ukrainian children from the occupied territory, as well as individuals who in various ways help Russian terror against Ukraine. We are increasing the pressure of our state on them, and each of them must be held responsible for what they have done. And we will not leave any connection of these people with the Ukraine.
Жодного зв'язку цих людей з Україною ми не залишимо.
Germany, France and Italy have reached an agreement on how artificial intelligence should be regulated in the future. According to a joint paper, which is expected to accelerate negotiations at the European level, the three governments are in favor of binding voluntary commitments for both large and small AI providers in the European Union. The paper favors no initial sanctions. The European Commission, the European Parliament and the EU Council are also negotiating on the bloc's position in this arena. The paper also mentioned a system of sanctions for violations of code of conduct. The German government is hosting a digital summit in Vienna in the upcoming week. Issues surrounding AI will be on the agenda when the German and Italian governments hold talks in Berlin on Wednesday. The OpenAI board is in discussions with Sam Altman to return as the CEO of the company, according to media reports. The decision came after ChatGPT usage plummeted by 43% after the sudden firing of Altman. It also jeopardized the sale of OpenAI employee shares that would value the startup at about $86 billion. Earlier on Friday, the company had ousted CEO Sam Altman on the grounds of breakdown of communications between him and the company. Backed by Microsoft, in November 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT, kicking off the generative AI craze. A wall collapsed in an avenue in Santo Domingo on Saturday night due to heavy rains, killing at least 9 people. According to the Dominican Republic Public Works Ministry, at least 3 vehicles got trapped under the wall when it collapsed. Rescue efforts were underway to find the victims trapped due to the accident. Unofficial reports mentioned that 9 deaths in the wall collapse accident were reported. Authorities have declared alert in 30 of the country's 32 provinces after heavy downpour, thunderstorms and wind gusts hit several provinces of the Caribbean island in the last 24 hours. India's Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari and the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand Pushkar Singh Dhami reached Silkhiara to conduct the on-site inspection and review of the ongoing relief and rescue in the region. The rescue operation is underway for the 8th consecutive day today to rescue 41 workers trapped in the under-construction tunnel in Uttarkashi. The administration is in constant touch with the people trapped and all the workers are safe. And up next, we take a look at other stories making it to the headlines today. Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra outreach program is being observed in the Indian city of Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh. The pledge for Viksit Bharat was also taken in a village in Tawang. The Sankalp Yatra aims to reach out to people, create awareness and provide benefits of welfare schemes to the people. The 2-week-long India International Trade Fair that started from November 14th is opening for general public from today, and it will continue till November 27th. The fair is likely to attract around 40,000 visitors each day and could swell to around 1 lakh visitors per day during weekends and holidays. All schools in New Delhi will reopen from Monday, according to an order by Delhi government. The schools remained closed in the national capital due to increased levels of pollution. However, outdoor sports activities and morning assemblies will not be held for the next 1 week. World Toilet Day is celebrated every year on 19th November. In 2001, the NGO World Toilet Organization, founded by philanthropist Jack Sim in Singapore, declared November 19th as a World Toilet Day. This year, the theme of the World Toilet Day is accelerating change. Let's see this special report by our correspondent Siddharth Bharadwaj.
क्या हमारी मां बहनों को इज्जत के लिए हम कम से कम शौचालय का प्रबंध नहीं कर सकते हैं? आपको लगता होगा क्या लाल किले से सफाई की बात करना, लाल किले से टॉयलेट की बात बताना, ये कैसा प्रधानमंत्री है? भाइयों बहनों, मैं नहीं जानता हूं मेरी कैसी आलोचना होगी, इसे कैसे लिया जाए, लेकिन मैं मन से मानता हूं। मैं गरीब परिवार से आया हूं, मैंने गरीबी देखी, और गरीब को इज्जत मिले इसकी शुरुआत यहीं से होती है।
In 2014, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Swachh Bharat mission from the ramparts of the Red Fort and appealed to the people to make India open defecation free. Subsequently, the government of India started the ODF, Open Defecation Free campaign. With no time, it became a mass movement. People willingly started coming forward to contribute to it by offering voluntary service. The construction of toilets began rapidly, and even before the expected time, the country became open defecation free.
हमारे शहरी क्षेत्रों में जो कम्युनिटी टॉयलेट्स हैं उनको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बनाएं और उनको इतना अच्छे से चलाएं ताकि लोग वहाँ पे जाके सस्ते में ड्रिंकिंग वाटर ले सकें, टॉयलेट्स यूज़ कर सकें, बेदिंग फैसिलिटीज़ यूज़ कर सकें.
Toilets are the foundation of public health and play a crucial role in environment conservation. After the Prime Minister's appeal, this campaign turned into a mass movement at a remarkable pace. In rural areas, it has not only contributed significantly to eliminating many diseases, but has also brought substantial relief. This year, the theme of World Toilet Day is Accelerating Change. From ODF, Open Defecation Free, to ODF++, that is, a garbage-free area, the meaning of cleanliness has truly transformed. Now India is moving ahead in the direction of waste processing. With inputs from Shaila Nagar, Siddharth Bhardwaj's report, DD India.
And up next, we take a look at the mesmerizing drone show rehearsals at Narendra Modi Stadium ahead of the World Cup 2023 final. All right, that's all in this edition of DD India Live. But remember, extensive coverage of India versus Australia continues on DD India. In a short while from now, my colleague Deepika will join you with A Shot at Glory, a special program on the final clash. You can also connect with us on Facebook, X and also Instagram. We will be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.